special episode of Chicago Today.
Very special indeed, because we got the rare opportunity to tour the city with the one and only Bill Murray.
The Chicago-born and bred actor took us around some of the most beautiful art installations in the Loop.
And not only did we get his opinion on the art, but also our incredible city and how it's grown over the years.
Plus, we talk SNL, Second City, growing up Murray, and he takes us to a place that inspired a legendary SNL sketch.
Bill Murray just trusted us to get in the van and go along for the ride.
Man, and the thing that was so special about it is that he's a true Chicagoan.
Let's go to Calder first. Are we there yet?
We're there. We're
Okay.
Do you come visit these spots every time you're here in the city?
No, but it's back when I was much younger and all these things started getting put in, it was very cool to you know, it just made you proud of the town.
Yeah,
You know?
because this is a very different Chicago than when you were growing up.
Right. There was someone from Chicago who didn't believe that the tallest building used to be the Prudential Building. Which
Someone
is,
from Chicago said that?
yeah, I guess, well, they're just
Well,
a
I mean,
child, I guess. But
I didn't know that, but,
Yeah,
but I won't question
it was 56 stories tall. And what you did was you went to the top of the rock, which was a kind of an overlook kind of place. And they, oh, you know, there was a postcard.
Yeah.
For some reason, that was like a big business. Postcards was a big business back then.
Yeah.
And everyone had a postcard at the top of the rock. And it's still a beautiful spot. You know, you overlook the park and everything. But it's amazing when you look at it now and you go, gosh, it's just this little thing now. So no, there's a name you don't think of very often. Everett McKinley Dirksen. He was a cool guy.
I don't even know who that was. So
Well, he was the senator from Illinois, and he had a great voice. He had fantastic hair, Matt. Much better hair than you got.
thank you.
Better hair than you two. Better hair than me.
I hope you won't mind a story that I've used on occasion when I've talked about the public debt.
And he had a great voice, and he smoked cigarettes, and he may have drank whiskey or liquor. He may have been, no, not a drunk, but he drank. But he got on, he was a real politician back when they existed.
Do you take the architecture tour?
No, I never.
that not
It
your
always felt like too formal. I kind of liked finding the.
It is
ones on the
informative,
front wall
though.
myself.
Informal.
Oh yeah. I tell everyone else to take it.
That's what you do. Like, here's $20. Go take the ferry.
Yeah, here. Go out on the water at night. It's beautiful to go out on the water at night.
So did you always love Chicago like this? Like your passion, like when you were a kid, was it instilled in you
Well,
with your family?
we were cake eaters. That's a city term for people that live in the suburbs. We were cake. Hey, yeah. City guys would go, hey, why don't you just go eat some cake?
What does that even mean?
I don't even
You're
know.
a cake eater.
You're
You know, you're a
just
cake eater.
a
Come
cake
on.
eater.
Okay. So would your parents bring you into the city?
Yeah,
and,
for
like-
cake. No,
Yeah.
no, that would be a big thing to get into.
Yeah.
Like we weren't loaded. So vacation was you got in the car and went for a ride. That was a petition.
Right.
Can we go for a ride? Going for a ride was a big deal. You could put everyone in the car and be like
Just
a foliage tour, or,
Yeah.
you know, or you're just going to see something different than your neighborhood.
What car fits 9
I was just gonna ask that. This car, this is the
Well,
kind of car your dad
it
drove.
was always a station wagon. No, they didn't have these back then. But it was always a station wagon, and it had 3 seats. That's luckily they always had 3 seats, so you could stuff us all in there. We used to beg to go to the windy roads. The windy roads, like Sheridan Road, way up there by the fort.
Yeah.
And basically, it meant we would go to the windy roads, and our dad would kind of like make whip turns through the curves, and we would slam against each other in the car, and slam against each other in the car, and slam against. So it's basically kind of a workout, you know, exorcism. You know, just
Get the devil out of
get
the
you ready to go to sleep.
Well, I didn't expect this interview to turn into a history lesson, but we're certainly learning a lot. We're not even close to being done with our grand walkabout tour with Mr. Bill Murray.
We have more art installations, but we also get a rare exclusive look into what it was like growing up Murray on the north side of Chicago. Welcome back to our Chicago Today exclusive All Bill Murray episode.
Have we ever given a celebrity 30 minutes?
I don't think so.
I mean, we got Oprah with 4 minutes.
But I can't think of anyone more worthy. Bill Murray is a legend. So later in the show, we're talking cheeseburgers, we're talking cubbies. But first, we hit a Marc Chagall art piece located in the heart of the Loop on Dearborn.
Bill picked all of these locations, and honestly, we were just along for the ride. And the ride is where he opened up with special memories about his family and growing up with 8 brothers and sisters.
You know, your late night tour would be these kinds of things, especially when you had people from out of town. You would just drag around and see
Oh, this is cool.
see these things, and you go like, yeah, do you have one of these in your town? Do you have one of those in Rocky River, Ohio?
What do you like about this one?
Well, actually, I like this side.
Yeah, the side.
I like better, right?
I mean, he's gone now, so but he'd probably understand. People have preferences, but you know, whenever you meet somebody that works with this kind of size tile, you think, man,
I've never met somebody
there,
who
but for the
works with
grace
this
of God,
type
go
tile.
Right?
I never could have done it, but
This is patience that I don't have.
Oh, it's nice standing back away from it.
oh yeah, you can't in front of it. You just sort of get a backwash from it. You get a splash from it.
Yeah. This is really cool.
But yeah, you've really got to stop, because even I think I drove by it 2 or 3 times this week, and I was trying to say, like, what's it like from here? What's it like in motion? And you really got to stand still.
I'll come here, and I've come here a few times. I came here during the pandemic, and you just sit and you watch people watch it. You watch people look at it.
It's so rare that I'm on foot, like looking at it. I usually drive by it, but it's
right.
Yeah.
It's so nice to be able to stand in
it's
front
kind
of
of funny. He really designed it to be motion. You notice there's not any place to sit down.
Yeah.
You know, that's intentional for sure, right? Like, he doesn't want you to sit down. He wants the city to be moving around it. You know, he wants everything to be there. And it's protected, and it's got its own kind of light, no matter whether it's raining or sun. It's got its own, you know, sort of niche, and it's there, and it's always going to be right there. It's almost like a church.
You were raised going to the Catholic Church here in Chicago, and your sister Nancy is even a nun.
That's my sister, the nun. More people know my sister than I.
Wait, I didn't know.
Are you related to Nancy Murray? Yeah, okay. Like, who's that guy standing next to Nancy Murray? That kind of thing.
I love that she went to acting school. She's your sister, or was that not true?
She went into the novitiate right out of high school.
Yeah.
So, and then she went to college while she was nunning. She was nunning up. She was nunning up, and she went to college, and she took a theater course. So she says. She likes to tell people that she's the only one in the family with a theater degree.
That's sweet.
Yeah, well, she's the only one in the family that's on the dole. Yeah. You know. Come on, Nancy, the Pope's paying your way. Come on,
the
knock
Pope's
it off.
paying your way. She rubs that in your face.
Yeah, if a nun can rub her theater degree in the face of like a movie star, it's possible.
Speaking of your family, we loved seeing your family photos at Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
What made you want to share all of those personal photos?
I think it was we just didn't have enough storage space.
It's just a lot cheaper to put it in a restaurant.
They had to go somewhere. Yeah, it was going to go somewhere, and otherwise we just have to sneak it into, you know, like a Denny's or Morton's or someplace, just nail it up on a wall.
And we had the your mother's old fashioned.
Old fashioned. That was good.
That on tap.
Yeah.
Which is great.
That was great.
Yeah, my mother wasn't a drunk, but that recipe could create some.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. She was very gracious, and she managed to get along with people, you know, people that other people didn't get along with. So she would have been great to be in business with, in show business, because she was, you know, kind and took care of people and thought about what people needed, which, you know, you may not be always to get someone like that in your business life that's looking out for you. It's funny, when the bunch of us that became actors started acting, I realized we were all doing our mother.
Like an invitation.
Yeah,
like
we're all doing our mother.
Yeah,
like, golly, that's strange. I never thought she was funny, and yet we're all doing it. We didn't realize how how funny our mother was until our father passed away. We always thought our dad was the really funny one. You know, it's still hard to believe that your parents are gone.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a long, long time, and it's still, when you get us all together, it's like what someone's missing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So you never, you know.
And your dad was young. Your dad was really young.
Very young. Yeah. I will never forget what it was like inside the funeral limousine. You know, the blacked out windows and all those kids inside of there were just making fun of all the people walking by. And just laughing like crazy. And people would look at the car like, oh, they're all in there and they're all so sad. We were screaming with laughter at various things. We were having so much fun. We were, laughing so hard because, you know, you had to. It was like, it hurt too much, it's too painful.
Yeah. Welcome back to Chicago Today's exclusive special with Bill Murray. We've had a great time touring the city with the SNL star, and this next sculpture really hits home.
So you guys know how Bill Murray is a huge Cubs fan, but I bet you'd like to hear how he felt when they won the big game.
Well, we went to center field. We went to the bleachers. We used to watch their game the other day from the bleachers. I haven't sat in the bleachers in a while.
How was that feeling and that vibe?
It was great. The bleachers is, you know,
Rowdy?
indestructible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they've got the cup snake. You know, you've seen the cup snake?
Oh, what's the cups?
Well, they assemble all the used cups. They put them one inside another, so it's a snake of cups, beer cups.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea this was here.
Klaus Oldenburg.
Oh, is this
Klaus
his
Oldenburg.
signature?
That's his name. That's his signature. That's his thing. He makes giant thing. He makes
Right.
like giant cufflinks and giant, just artifacts, just pieces, and he makes huge versions of them.
Does baseball still excite you as much as it did when you first were a kid and discovered it? Because you're so passionate about it. Everybody knows you for the Cubs and for baseball and in the stands and all sports, really. But
A couple years ago, I was watching, there was a football game on one channel, and there was a baseball playoff game on the other. And I went back and forth just to compare what the crowd noise was like, and there's no comparison. Like a football crowd, it's nothing like a baseball crowd. A baseball crowd really, really is far more glued to every play and every pitch, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And their volume is much more rabid. It's much more excited.
So, we saw the video of you when the Cubs won the World Series. I mean, what was that? What was that like for you? I lost my mind, so I know you lost your mind.
Well, most people had the experience of what they talked about was not the game, which was probably the greatest Game 7 in the World Series history, but they talked about their relatives. And like my father used to take me here, my and even on the field after the game, I remember there was Michael Wilbon. I'm going, hey, you know, I'm thinking Mike's going to be analytic or something, and all he could talk about was his family, and I was the same way. People were just talking about how long it had been, their parents taking them to the game, the first time they went to the Cub game, the first time they, you know, saw Ernie Banks hit a home run, all that kind of stuff.
I cried.
Everybody cried.
Yeah,
Everybody
I did.
cried.
When are the Bears going to win the Super Bowl?
if
This
you knew
year.
that,
This year. You think the Bears are going to win the Super Bowl this year?
are you being sarcastic? Is that true? Or
No,
being
that's
kind?
the way you
have to
must
talk.
think.
Yeah.
You must believe, like, this is it.
That's right, like a true Chicago, and we always got to believe in our team.
I was like, Bill, you're going to invite us to a game or what?
Well, we got to believe.
That's
we
true.
got to
That's
believe
true.
in that.
Okay, you can't mention Bill Murray's Chicago without talking about his comedy roots here and how he became the actor he is today. When's the last time you went to Second City?
There's always the fear they're going to make you want to work. And I don't want
Put
to
you
work.
up.
Yeah.
I don't want to work. I want to just watch it. But my brother Joel, he goes a lot. He's very active. He still improvises all the time.
Who are you a fan of right now?
Well, I do like Dave Chappelle. I think I've gotten to know him over the last few years, and and I never watched his early stuff, his TV shows. And I'm guilty of watching Yo MTV Rap. Yo MTV Hip Hop, or whatever the hell that show is.
Rap.
It was fun to watch that.
Do you have a favorite rapper?
Well, I like the local guy. I like Common. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's good. And I do like Eminem, even though I thought like a Detroit guy. His stuff is very he has anthem qualities.
Yeah.
He really can make things go.
I could see you on a rap album because you're very musical, sir.
It would probably, you know, I'd probably be taken out and beaten.
No. At least in the music
There'd be
video.
like a group of people that say, okay, we're gonna just take him to the alley. We're not gonna, not his face, because he's got to work again, but let's hurt him inside. Let's go inside with his body.
Do you watch SNL?
Yeah, I do.
will? But I
yeah,
mean,
I
it's
watch it
okay.
live too. I often am finding like, oh, it's on. So
Yeah.
then I'm watching it, and there are a lot of people say, oh, it's never as good as it used to be. Yeah, well, that's not true, because it goes in
good.
waves.
Yeah, it goes in waves.
Just like Second City goes in waves, where like the people are new, they don't know what the hell they're doing, they don't know what they're doing, then they get really good, and then they leave. And then
Okay, let's talk about Lauren.
we used to always kid him and tease him about everything, about how, well, what the hell he knew, and we're funnier than you, and all that kind of stuff. He really does know how to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
he really, really knows how to do it. Lorne Michaels had insisted on the best prop man, the best lighting man, the best cameraman. He got them all for that show. So everybody there was a killer. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And whatever their job was, they were a killer.
Yeah.
So, you know, nobody took anything from anybody, you know. Oh, you're in a magazine cover?
Yeah. So what?
How come you missed your cue?
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack on that ride, but mainly, I just want him to come out with a rap album.
I know, and
Come
you're
on.
probably thinking there can't possibly be any more surprises in this episode, but you would be wrong.
He's gonna help us up our Instagram game, and he takes us to the spot that inspired the famous cheeseburger sketch on SNL.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to our adventure with the legendary Bill Murray.
Adventure it was, my friend. He's been taking us on a tour of his favorite art installations throughout the city. And to wrap it all up, we ended up at a great new spot on Michigan Avenue that you should check out as well.
Now, this spot just so happens to be right above the Billy Goat Tavern, which inspired a famous SNL sketch.
But somewhere below us, there's a cheeseburger. I know that.
Oh, the cheeseburger, it's right down here. The funniest on camera and the funniest at home.
Yeah.
When you guys are by
Well,
yourself.
Belushi was really fun to be with. He really was an amazing amount of fun. He could create fun out of anything, Johnny Belushi.
I love that.
He could really make fun out of anything.
Yeah.
He was really wonderful. He was amazing on the stage. Like when he came out, when he entered the scene on the stage, like your eyes just went to this guy. He was just very electric. He was really something. And he had great ambition, and he dragged all of his friends to New York, and they all made it, you know? So he was a guy. He was an icebreaker. He was really something.
Yeah.
Let's go see if the cheeseburger guy's here. All right, well, what are you going to have?
I'll have a cheeseburger.
What's on the menu?
cheeseburger.
Yeah, I'm going to have a cheeseburger too, please. I think you should have a double.
Yeah, if you're saying that, then I'm down with you.
I'll have a double.
Look, I don't want a cheeseburger. It's too early for a cheeseburger. Too early for a cheeseburger? Look. Cheeseburger, 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 cheeseburger.
When Don Novello wrote this sketch, he actually was from Cleveland, but he worked for a while for an advertising agency here. And I think he just came here and he thought, oh my God, this is too much. You know, it was sort of a known thing in the neighborhood. And the printers from the Trib, sometimes they came over, and that was the clientele back then, and the journalists, because they're all right around here.
Yeah.
When they did the sketch, it had like a different popularity. Now they sell T-shirts. You know?
Yeah, no, they do.
So that's cool. T-shirt money is good money.
It is.
Back then we only had 7 people in the cast. Now they have 15 or 18 or something, that number, you know, I don't know how, they must be going out of their minds. You want to be on and you want to show what you can do. You know, I was kind of fortunate because after I was there a year or two, Danny and John went to make a movie, so they were gone a lot. So they got stuck with me. You know, the writers don't know you, so they don't write for you.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Is there someone on there now that you, or someone from the past you're like, that's a funny person?
I always think like Bill Hader was a guy that worked really hard at it, but he really brought something to each role that he played. And Kristen Wiig, I mean, Amy Poehler, there's a bunch of people that have been funny.
How did it feel to shoot a movie here? Because that's pretty special to shoot in your hometown. You know, you're growing up trying to make it.
Well, it's just work. You know, it's unfortunate. You can say, oh, I'm making a movie in Paris, I'm making a movie in someplace. You're just grinding. You're just working all day.
You're not experiencing
You're not
the cities,
living
are you?
there. You're not living there.
Yeah.
You're just shooting there, you know. So, but Chicago was a little better because, you know, Harold was directing and John was directing, and so, you know, they were, you know, they knew the life. So, you know, you make a plan to do something at the end of the day and you know where to go. It wasn't like you're in a strange city, a strange town or something. You think, well, what's happening in Chicago? And then you come down here, and there's no place like this in America. There's no place that looks like this.
It makes everything okay.
Yeah, you feel like, okay, someone's in charge, someone knows what they're doing, and that's good.
Well, he is right. There is no place like Chicago. I feel like I love the city even more after that tour.
And what an adventure it was. We want to thank the Murray and Heiser families for sharing those incredible home videos with us.
And we thank Bill for sharing his time and his love for our city. Thank you, Bill.
And thank you guys for joining us on this wild ride. We love you, Chicago!
Chicago!
Let's get another burger.
Yes, I would love another burger.
Yes.
And I wish, can we get a milkshake too somewhere?
Of course.
Watch Chicago Today, now 5 days a week.